Hey guys, my name is Julien Fillion. Today I'm going to show you how to install a rescue sled on the PWC. We have my own Sea-Doo GTX here today. I'm going to show you how I personally install it on my GTX. We're not going to go through the entire installation process because that would take like half hour, but I'm going to show you a couple of small tips on how to make the installation as easy as possible and create a very strong and rigid connection between the Sea-Doo and your rescue sled. Alright guys, here we are. This is my GTX 130 Pro from Sea-Doo, and we have a ride engine inflatable rescue sled. You'll notice there's 3 attachment points for that rescue sled, and most sleds only have 3 attachment points, 1 in the middle and 2 on the sides. Okay, you'll notice here the one in the middle is using actually a static webbing, and the one on the sides usually use a bungee cord. Okay, so I'm gonna take it off right now to show you where to put the attachment points on the Sea-Doo GTX. You'll notice here for these, you actually have to pull them pretty hard to remove it because they are rigged under very high tension. There you go, take it off like this. The second one is usually easier. Pull it down, take the carabiners off. And then for the top, usually what I do is I will fold the rescue sled onto the handlebars of the Sea-Doo. This way, it makes this webbing a little bit looser, and I can easily remove the carabiner, kind of easily, okay? I'm gonna move this out of the way a little bit, okay? So you notice there's 1 attachment point here, there's 1 here on the side, and there's 1 on the other side, okay? What I love about the Sea-Doo GTX platform, there's already a lot of connection points you can use to rig your rescue sled. You don't have to drill any additional ones, okay? For the middle, what I did, I used the connection for underneath the ski pile, and you'll see there's 3 bolts here, okay? I used the bottom one. What I did is I took a long piece of webbing, I folded it in half, then at the end, I folded the 2 ends in, the 2 halves at the ends, and I punched a hole going through the 2 layers of webbing, about like an inch away from the edge. So, and then I removed the entire link plastic plates here, so there's a couple screws. You have to take them all out to make it loose. Then I placed the webbing underneath, and I passed this particular bolt through the punch hole. Then I screwed the plate back in, and the plate actually squeezes the webbing in between the plate and the deck of the Sea-Doo, plus it has a bolt going through the 2 layers of webbing. So that created a very, very, very strong connection for the middle of the rescue sled, okay? So now you can put this back in, close that down, put the seat back on. What I did for the sides, similar thing. So if you look here, the sponsoons on the Sea-Doo have 4 bolts, okay? Plus they have like a floating washer, meaning you don't have to go and hold the washer from inside the engine bay in order to remove and place these back. Okay, you can just remove the 4 bolts slowly. Then you take a long piece of webbing, you fold it in half, you punch a hole through the 2 layers close to the edge, and then you pass this particular bolt through the 2 layers of webbing, place the sponsoon back in, screw those 4 bolts in with a good pressure, and it's creating a very, very strong connection point using this webbing. And it's actually very clean. You don't have to drill any extra hole in the Sea-Doo. And here on the left side, I did the same thing. Okay, so we have the attachment point here. So now that we have our 3 attachment point installed on the Sea-Doo GTX, we can make small adjustment on our sled. So I'm gonna bring the sled back in slightly. So you bring this back towards here. The first time you install for example, here, this right engine rescue sled, I like to have it upside down like this on the seat because this gives me the exact tension that I need for the middle webbing, okay? So what I want is to have between the sled and the deck here, I want this to be almost tight, okay? So this webbing, you want it to be almost tight. What that does, when you fold it back, it gives you perfect tension here. So it's bringing a very low profile connection to the deck of the Sea-Doo, and it's a great starting point for connecting your sled, okay? Then after that, you're going to pre-measure the length of your bungee cord, and you want to make a knot at the right distance. I always leave the extra length of bungee here for two reasons. One is sometimes the nut will slide and all that, and you have to make small adjustments. So when you have the length to do it, that's great. But most importantly, it gives you a way to pull on it when you want to install that carabiner, because install that carabiner, especially when you're alone, is not that simple. It's always kind of like tricky. So you want to pull this really hard, and then you want to pull it through the webbing like so, okay? And on the side, a lot of the time you'll ask your tow partner to help you with this, but today I'm by myself, so I'm gonna do it all by myself. You see, this one was easier, okay? So having all this extra length to pull on is making your life a lot easier, plus this extra length after that, you can just pull it through there, okay? So you see now, that gives you already a very strong connection of your rescue sled on the Sea-Doo here. It's very important that these bungee cords are ultra tight, okay? If they're loose, you'll be able to move that sled left and right a lot. When there's no one on the sled, that's fine. But the minute you have someone or weight on the sled, if it does not have a tight connection with the PWC, it's going to do some weird stuff in the back, and it's going to pull the PWC towards the water during turns, okay? So it's very, very important to create that strong connection. So that's about it. This is how I personally installed my rescue sled on the Sea-Doo GTX. Every PWC are different. Sometimes you might have to add attachment points, but I come to find out that with most Sea-Doo, you don't have to. You can use existing connection to do it. All right, thank you so much, guys. Be safe. Bye.